3 months before. Antigas, so, it's going well then. Another excruciatingly early morning. Another lift to the forensics laboratory with Dr. John. Well, let me tell you a broken bar. Dwayne shook his head briefly, then tapped the side of his nose. A gentleman don't tell, he added, thinking about the holding of her hand, the touching of her skin. But I ain't no gentleman, he added, and told John Gold about their mild PDA. But I sure do like her. She's just so. I can't imagine it, John Gold replied. She's so uptight and formal. There's no relaxing with her. Sure, it might take some time, admitted Wayne, as they drove down the coast road. But, she is so lovely, a broken bar so great. Ya know, she knows so much she can memorize everything. You know those catalog numbers what we have to put down? Dr. John glanced across to Dwayne and nodded. She knows all them, ya know. I was testing her a bit, other day. Dwayne shook his head. Marvelous woman who's waiting for us with a clipboard and a scowl, Dr. Gold told Dwayne, nodding to Charlotte Brooke, standing on the steps of the administrative building. And she can speak Creole, he added, as they got out of the car, Dwayne switching from laid-back ladies' man to trainee forensic scientist. Can she now? Dr. John Gold thought, as he took the telling off and the jobs list for the day. Can she now? 88,888,888. No, I won't do it. You'll do it. In the darkness, the leaden words accompanied the hard shove of Charlotte Brooke's head against the side of the wall in her hallway. Further protests brought further retribution. In the end, as they both knew she would, Charlotte agreed. Cotton scarf with a loose blouse tomorrow. No one could see the bruises then. But Dwayne had seen. She had taken him home and she had initiated sex. And when he had seen that a broken bar, he had known that the chief wanted more from him than a forensic analyst. But first, he had to slowly detach from her, see her less, until they were back to how they had been when he had arrived, colleagues, boss and employee. And when he returned to Honoré Tilda copyright, Dwayne Myers had gone for a long moonlight stroll on the beach, leaving Catherine's bar one evening with D.I. Poole, and had appraised him of everything that he could remember. 88,888,888. Present day, Honoré Tilda copyright police station. So you think she was in trouble? Fidel looked over to his partner. Dwayne's pause was longer than necessary. I do, Dwayne admitted. She was in trouble. Something was going on that she was a part of. But he got to his feet and pushed open the slatted door nearest their desk and leaned on it. Then he turned back to look at his friend. God knows how I loved her, Fidel, he confessed. I think of Elodie, but, you know, a broken bar, Charlotte, a broken bar. He looked at his desk. That's why I took her book, A Broken Bar, something to remember her by. Fidel nodded. There was nothing to say. Nothing he could say. When he thought the emotion had passed, he approached Dwayne and clapped him on the shoulder. Stevenson and Camille are both out. The best thing we can do is to go back to our work. Dwayne said nothing, but nodded. And an hour later, cross-checking and referring back to the original statements of the victim and her friends, Dwayne Myers stopped dead and slowly rose from his chair. Fidel looked across to him, eyes still on his screen. I found her, he exclaimed. Roberta Weymouth. He broke off and backed away from the screen. Fidel got up too, approaching Dwayne's desk, which appeared to have given him ghoul-like fright. Roberta Claire Weymouth, Fidel Reed, D.P., 16th of April 2010, Diner Janet 7. He glanced over to Dwayne. That's great. Look again, Dwayne urged, moving his hand as if to indicate that Fidel should move the Metweb page down. Roberta Claire Weymouth, Fidel continued, Paulino Euro broken bar. He looked up to Dwayne. 18th April 2012 A broken bar. Charlotte Sarah Brooke. A broken bar. He broke off as he saw Dwayne's face. Why would a person change their names so many times? She must have been in trouble or hiding something. Fidel let his friend speak, grateful that he wasn't the one who was summarizing things up for Dwayne, whose heart was sinking. Was anything he and Charlotte had true? And look, books by a children's author, Books set in Dorset. A broken bar. The name is a broken bar. Fidel looked at her profile. Charlotte Brooke, owner of Rose Cottage, Dorset. Had she made them up, or had she been seeking out people with the same name? From out of his desk drawer, Dwayne pulled the book he had taken from her. He picked it up and stared at the cover. Then he looked at his friend. I loved her, Fidel. She was a beauty with brains. A broken bar. His melancholy reply caused Dwayne to begin to pace around the police station. Fidel, a broken bar. The voice was almost imperceptible, almost silent. Well, you won't believe it, Dwayne, Fidel replied, looking further down the screen, and pointed to the name, Dinah 7, and then at the name beside it. Fidel. Dwayne. Come here, stop walking and do your job. Look at the name. Here. There was a name, beside Dinah 7, of someone who had bought a property in Dorset, and a challenge made by a Mr. Noel Svensson. Fidel, listen, this makes sense now. Fidel Best told Dwayne Myers. I plotted the names that the chief sent on a map. He unfolded a map of southern England. A circle had been drawn around Dorset. They're nearly all here, in the county of Dorset. A broken bar. Place name is a broken bar. Holiday destinations a broken bar. Wareham, Shaftesbury, Brownsea Island, Corfe Castle. Broken bar. But Dwayne was not looking at the computer now. His eye was on the map, and he pointed to the name on the screen. Ya missed one, he told Fidel. Dwayne pointed to the facts. That? Fidel shook his head. It's the chief's name. A broken bar and a broken bar. His voice trailed away, knowing what he had just seen on the PC screen. There was silence for a moment, as they clocked the name change. It was Dwayne who spoke next. The chief was married. A broken bar. DS Fidel Best. Camille Bordy shouted, when sotto voce subterfuge had made zero progress. Both officers' heads turned to the door. Camille was standing there, rigid, stiff. La broken bar. I need you to move from the incident board, she added, as Neil Stevenson appeared beside her, leveling a pistol.